morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Hope everyone's good. It's Friday. Another week has passed. Thank God. I am joined today by Jimbo, as always, and Mr. Big Time himself, who's made time for the smaller channels. Nicholas, Jimbo, first of all, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Very good.
Good. And Mr. Big Time, how you diddling?
Well, unfortunately, the servants didn't cut the grass this week, so I just had to quickly finish the back garden. And I was like, I've got like 10 minutes, right? Quick, finish the back garden, quick rough cut, and then hopefully the servants will be back to do all the other things with it. I've still got to do the front, 2 loads of washing. I think they've gone on strike today, so I'm not really sure what they're doing. So yeah, I'll have to have a word with them.
Yeah, you need to crack the whip, Nick. This is not acceptable.
It's not acceptable.
No. Today we will be talking about England and also covering some transfer news. I was like, I don't know what we're going to talk about today. So I started looking at transfer news and there was loads from all over the Premier League. But before we start, let's have a look who's in. We've got Danny Talk Sport, who says smash a like and subscribe. Big up, Danny. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Schroker. Hope you're well. Afternoon, Harmless Potato. Hope you're doing good. Daniela says Emerson nearing a move to AC Milan. Yes, it does look like it's happening, Nick. How are you feeling?
Well, unfortunately, I got some inside info yesterday, and it looks like it. Yeah, the news is it's nearing to fruition. So I mean, it's fine. I mean, it's a win-win because I get to. I've been promised an AC Milan shirt with Emerson's name and number on the back of it, so I get to get that as well. So, and I guess
who's promised you the shirt?
Iggy promised me this. He said if he goes, I'll buy you a shirt with his name and number on it. I mean, unfortunately, it's not Adidas because obviously Adidas kit's a fire. It's Puma, but I guess there's the opportunity to go and see him play in Milan. So yeah, I guess it's not all doom and gloom.
No,
there will be the tribute to the GOAT with his haircut. Maybe not the blonde, maybe not the shepherd's pie, but I'll have all the silly lines and craziness in my hair is in tribute when he goes. So yeah.
It's weird because on Monday, when I was talking about it, there was a report out to say that he said he'd rather go to Galatasaray, but that just seems to have disappeared. So I don't know what that was all about, but it does look like he is going out the door. Ho-hum. Big up, I'm a real gooner, says afternoon, pin-up girl and Lucky Jim and Posh Nick. What? Posh Nick. I don't know about that. Good afternoon, Skills. Hope you're well. And Destiny 5 as well. Good to see you. So fortunate. Yeah, fortunate for Emerson Royale that he's got picked up by a decent team. I'm not being funny, but
he's been coveted by Europe's finest. Milan, Bayern Munich, Juventus. What can you say? You've either got it or you haven't. So what can you say?
Do you know what? Nothing surprises me anymore. Dyer's tearing it up at Bayern Munich. And Emerson's going to AC Milan. Whatever next.
He's better off at AC Milan than Galatasaray. If he goes to Galatasaray, he might as well just call him Spurs.
Yeah. Big up, Chang. Said he's going to be here in 20 minutes. As long as you're filling up to it, you are more than welcome, Chang. He's also got this horrible coldy, sore throaty thing that's going about. Daniela says, are we getting a right back in competition with Porro? We absolutely need to. We'd be screwed with just Porro if he gets injured. I agree. I haven't actually seen anything about a right back coming in. I don't know if you have, Nick or Jimbo. But I mean, obviously the transfer window's not open yet, so it's all paper talk and rumours. But I haven't seen anything. I would hope so.
Yeah, I've seen things that Tottenham are looking. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but no concrete.
Where are we looking, Jim? Are we looking down McDonald's and Marks and Spencer's, or are we actually looking?
Probably Nottingham Forest and Luton Town, I would think. But there's been no concrete names as far as I'm aware.
I saw something about Doherty or whatever from Luton, but I don't think he's a right back, is he?
No, I thought he was a centre back.
He is a centre
or a left back. Or is he a left back? I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. Like I say, we've got a couple of How long we got? A week today, I think, till the transfer window opens. Is it the
14th?
14th?
The day of the Euros. Yeah, and I've been absolutely screwed up with my two teams from We Are Tottenham TV. I'm not happy. I've got Austria and Scotland. I mean, outrageous.
Wow. Well, I was just going to say on my page of YouTube, if you're a member, you get to pick who you think's going to win, and then whoever wins, we will put their names in a hat, do a live draw, and the winner will get something. I was going to put something signed by Tottenham, but there's gooners and all sorts in this chat, so I will decide the prize as and when we get our winner. But yeah, you get to pick your team here. None of this giving you all the old rubbish like Scotland.
So don't choose Scotland or Austria because it's definitely not happening.
No. What was you going to say, Jim? Sorry.
I was going to say that it's a bit of a pain in the backside, really, that the Euros start on the 16th and the window opens the 14th.
No, the Euros start on the 14th. It's just England don't play till the 16th.
Oh, all right. And so it starts the same day as the window opens.
Yes.
I mean, that's ridiculous. Yeah. How are teams going to sign players?
Well, you'd like to think that with England being at Hotspur Way training before they leave, you'd like to think that an Eze and maybe a Tony it'd be easier to get sorted. It'd be like, oh, where are we going for lunch? Well, you two are coming up here with me.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're signing this.
The thing is, as well, is people. There's players like let's use him for instance, Eze. If he goes on and bangs in a few goals and has a fantastic couple of games, the price is going to rocket up. It's a real pain in the backside. They should have opened the window earlier. That's what they should have done.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Sorry, Mark. You never know. If Scotland win it, I might give a prize to everybody because that's how much I think it's not going to happen. Bless them. But obviously, the 26-man squad came out. Was it yesterday? I've lost all track of days because I've been
yesterday.
Ill.
It was yesterday, Kate. I don't actually think the deadline is tomorrow, so I don't actually think it was going to be announced before tonight's game against Iceland. But I think that there was obviously a lot of. I think Maddison was asked to play in the friendly, and then got told that he wasn't going to be part of the squad, which I don't really understand. It's kind of doesn't make sense, right? So I think that was part of it, and then obviously it just started coming out. I think it was Wednesday night or something. The Maddison news. Then it was obviously it was the who was it? It was Trafford and then it was Curtis Jones, and then it was and I think they just thought, right, let's just get it done and dusted. There's some interesting choices. Interesting choices, if I'm honest. I think if you look at Jack Grealish, he didn't play the last 4 games for Manchester City, but obviously with Maddison not going, he probably thought he would have been a shoo-in. And I think Maddison was fair in what he said. Even though he was part of however many games, he did the right thing. I think, look, for me, that defence just looks light. I don't understand Branthwaite from Everton not getting the nod, because you've got Konsa, you've got Gomez. I mean, they're there for what? As cover. Obviously, Luke Shaw, we know, hasn't been played and just came back on Wednesday. But I think, look, we've got no other options. I know Trippier can play on the left back, but that's not really. For me, that's where we'd get exploited because he's not naturally left-footed. And a Lewis Dunk. I mean, it doesn't. The defence for me. I mean, Trent's there as a defender. So does that mean that with no Maguire, Trent goes back to being a defender? I mean, he's been playing in midfield, so I don't think. I'm not sure. I'm not sure with Trent at right back, because I'm guessing he's going to go with, I don't know, Walker and Stones, or is he going to do something stupid and put Dunk and stuff? I don't know what the back four is going to be like now. I mean, you would have said, everyone's first 4 for that first game would have been Shaw, Maguire, Stones, and Walker if everyone had been fit. But now, obviously, Maguire's not made it. Shaw's, 50-50. Trippier maybe. So yeah, the defence is a problem going forward. Look, I don't think there's an issue going forward. Adam Wharton, for me, is a bit of a surprise. Look, I know everyone says he probably deserves it. He was playing for Blackburn in the Championship at the start of the season, and then went to Palace, and now he's obviously on the plane. I mean, for me, you need someone that can make a difference. For me, and a Grealish, a Maddison, one of those definitely make a difference in midfield. Obviously, the attackers, where do they fit? Attack, midfield, you're not sure because they can play kind of there. But I think he did the right thing taking both Watkins and Toney because, Kane gets injured, and Watkins isn't firing. Okay, you can argue that, you expect more of the goals to come from midfield with, you're probably going to start, with Bellingham, Saka, Foden, and then Kane up top as the midfield. Palmer can make a difference. Eze can make a difference. Bowen offers something different. Then I think he offers something different as well. So look, I think for me, it's just once the Maddison thing was done, the Grealish one was a shock. The rest of them not really. Maybe Bramthwaite and Dunk, but I think it just shows Southgate trusts the people that he trusts. Maguire, if he hadn't been injured, would have 100% been going. Look, he hasn't let England down, right? Same with Pickford. He's not let England down when he's played for England. His club form is questionable. But I would have, in terms of game changers, a Grealish, Maddison, and a Rashford, those three can change games. And I don't think, yes, you can argue that if everyone's fit, they don't get in. But to change a game, I'm not sure a Gordon does that. I'm sure a Wharton doesn't do that. And I think he's. I mean, look, for me now, if Southgate's saying he's being brave, then he has to start with Rice and Maynard in that midfield. For me, but apart from that, look, it'll be the same thing. It's good for Spurs, I guess. No Maddison, no Porro in the Spain squad. So I guess from that point of view, it's good for us. So, but I guess there's all this talk of no Spurs players. I mean, someone said 100 years. I think it was 1992, the last time there was no Spurs players in the squad. But we'll probably go and win it now, and then we'll get bantered for it, So.
Do you know what? That will be so Spursy. Jimbo, what's your thoughts on the 26 he's picked and the ones that he's left out? Are you surprised? Are you happy? Not happy?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the midfield, right, the only one maybe is Grealish. I mean, Jude Bellingham, Declan Rice, Conor Gallagher, and Mainu. It's very hard to leave them out. I mean, I don't think Grealish has played enough this season. But even though I'd like to have seen him in there, but what I would have done is I would have took Grealish, and I would have left one of the attackers out. That's what I would have done. I wouldn't have left Grealish out. I don't think Maddison's done enough to earn a place.
I would have took Grealish, I think, over Anthony Gordon. I know that sounds harsh, but I think I would have took him over there. Because Grealish can come on and turn a game on its head in seconds.
I think you're right there. Or Bowen. I would have Gordon or Bowen. I would have left out. And maybe even Toney. He hasn't had a great end to the season, has he? But I would definitely have took Jack Grealish and dropped an attacker. But he's picked his team. We just have to go with it. I mean, there's nobody there that you can look at and think to yourself, well, they don't really deserve to be there. I think that all of them deserve to be there.
I don't know. Trippier's not been great this season.
No,
I think Nick's right. I think the defence doesn't look particularly. I still think Maguire had a space in that squad for me.
Yeah, I think Maguire would have gone, and probably, I don't know, Gomez or Gueye would have missed out. But I think, Trippier's only there because if Luke Shaw doesn't recover, then he's the only person playing at left back. That's the only person that you can see playing at left back.
Yeah.
Right,
and you're right, Paddy. Spurs won't have the budget because it'll cost 200 million plus to replace Royale. So.
This is another good point. Grealish and Kane both get fouls on the edge of the box. Someone, where was it? Yusuf says, should Jadon Sancho have been picked?
No.
Oh, no, says Nick.
Oh, he hasn't done enough, has he?
Look, okay, he went. Look, we know the issues at Man United, but look, we've seen. You know, sometimes. I mean, we don't have this problem, but sometimes you have these players. You know, like a Ronaldo, a Sancho. They have attitude problems. They have this, but actually, the impact and the difference that they make. Look at what Sancho did. He went to. You know, he didn't show up for United because of whatever. And it all went back to kind of when he was at City, right? And he had that hissy fit before, you know, and Foden was the one getting the chance. Okay, you can put that down to him being young and not really getting it, but there's no coincidence that Foden has been the one at Man City that's worked hard, got his chance, and done it. The rest of them have either through consequences. So Sancho he wanted to play and thought he was better than everyone else. You know, and obviously Palmer did want to stay, but wanted to go out on loan. But obviously City said they wanted to sell him. They didn't want him to go out on loan. So look, there's no coincidence from that point of view. But look, there's definitely a player there. But if he was if he was that type of player, like, and I'm not trying to do a comparison between him and Ronaldo because there is no comparison. But if he was that type of player, Dortmund would have won the Champions League final. You know, if you look at a player that's in his first season that's gone and done everything, it's Bellingham, right? And everyone hopes that he's the one that is the difference in the Euros. Because for me, he is, you know, he's nowhere near on the level of, you know, we always talk about generational players. Messi and Ronaldo have been a generational player. Is Bellingham the next cab off the rank, so to speak? And if he is, then it's fantastic that he's English, right? Because he's made such a difference. So I don't think for me there's a case of Sancho. He needs to, you know, Man, you need to sort out their issues and what they're doing with Ten Hag. Is he staying? Is he going? No one really knows. It's changing every day. Last week he was, now he's not. Who knows what it's going to be tomorrow? So yeah, I think it's, you know, player wise great, attitude wise John James says it completely how it is. You know, it's just that. But sometimes you need to have those attitudes. But we wouldn't know that because we don't have players like that at Spurs.
No, exactly. I mean, Jim, a couple of people have said Ward-Prowse because of his set pieces should have gone instead of Walton.
No, I don't think Ward-Prowse has been great this season. So no.
He was good the first part of the season, and he is good with set pieces, but I'm not sure you could take him just based on that. But I do think Angus, there is an argument for Ben White, but Ben White didn't want to play for England. Yeah. So how do you take someone who doesn't want to play?
Yeah, he shot himself in the foot, hasn't he, Ben White? So
I mean, had he have not said that, I think he would have 1,000,000% have gone because he's been decent this year, 100%. But I mean, am I wrong? Or do you think?
No, you can't pick and choose when you want to play for your country.
No, I mean, as much as
playing for your country is the biggest honour that anyone could be. You know, that you could. You know, I'm sure. You know, some players go, well, I want to win a Premier League, a Champions League, but you know, if you take, for example, perfect example, if you take Romero and Lo Celso, how many times in the past? Okay, I'm not saying now, but how many times in the past were they injured or not playing, and then they make themselves available for their country because they love, you know, they love playing for their country. It's a great honour, you know, and you know, you know, sometimes, yeah, you don't get on with a manager. You do have these things at work and everything else, but actually, you know, for me, I think for me, regardless who's the next manager, Ben White should never play for England ever again.
I agree.
The thing is, Kate, if you watch interviews with players when they say to them, like, Kane, I've seen it with so many of them. What's your biggest achievement? And what's the? They always say the first cap I got for my country. There's nothing that tops it. So
yeah. I'm with you, Nick. I think if you refuse to play for your country, I don't care who comes in, whether it's cutting your nose or I don't think you should ever play for your country again. That's it, as far as I'm concerned, because it should be treated as a massive honour. But, you know, it'll be interesting to see. But obviously, lots been made about Madders. He put out a statement saying devastated, doesn't quite cut it, trained well, worked hard all week. But if I'm honest with myself, my form for Spurs when coming back from injury in the second half of the season probably wasn't at the levels I had set, which gave Gareth a decision to make. I still thought there'd be a space for me in a 26-man squad, as I feel I bring something different and had been a mainstay in this whole qualifying campaign for Euro 24 in Germany. But the manager's made the decision. I have to respect that. I'll be back, I have no doubt. Wishing the boys all the luck in the world out in Germany. Unbelievable group of lads that I literally call some of my best friends. I genuinely hope football comes home. I mean, Jim, how do you feel about Madders missing out?
Well, the first time that was written, he actually put World Cup in it.
Oh, did he?
So, yeah. I told you, no, I was reading it and I said he's put World Cup. And they've obviously took that out. Look, we got to be honest. He's a Spurs player, and I love Maddison. He's one of my favourite players in the team, and I think that he will come good for us next season. You know, but he didn't deserve to go. It's as simple as that. His form after the injury wasn't great, and I understand it was a bad injury, and it takes time to come back, and they got to introduce him slowly, and he really got slung in at the deep end because they started playing him straight away when normally they play him 20 minutes, then half hour, then I play 45 minutes, and they give him a game, and he was kind of slung in. But his form wasn't good enough, so he can't.
Bloody Teddy. I'll let you carry on for a minute, Nick, while Ted gets it out of his system.
Yeah, he's gone.
Oh, yeah, he's gone.
So he didn't. He doesn't deserve to be there. It's as simple as that. You know, it just his form wasn't good enough.
Yeah, Nick, do you agree?
Yeah, 100%. Look, I think from if you look at form, there's probably 5 players ahead of him. So him going, what does that actually achieve? And also on the set pieces, we were saying it all of last season. We said it all of the season before. I don't remember last time there was a decent free kick, if I'm honest, in the whole of the Premier League. We've gone away from the free kicks, top corners, and banging it into the top corner. And I think that it's all about, now it's all about walking the ball into the net. You don't see many bangers. I remember 10, 15 years ago, you're watching Match of the Day, and you've got 4 or 5 goals that you're trying to take your pick of, which was the best one. And now it's very rare. It's very rare you see you could argue that probably, you could sit there and say Van der Ven, Ramirez, or Porro's, one of those were close. But yeah, from free kicks, I mean, how many free kicks have we scored in the last 5 seasons? 2, 3, maybe, not even that. So I think you're right. I think he doesn't deserve to go. It's great for Spurs. He gets a rest. Obviously, it could have, we saw what happened. Look, when Basuma Sarr, Sonny came back after playing in the tournament mid-season, and there wasn't so much of a break, and we need the players to rest, right? So yeah, look, for Spurs it's brilliant. For Maddison himself, let's hope he kicks on and comes back fighting with a point to prove. It's whether or not he does that, because we've seen what Wayne Holland's been saying all the time. He gets injured and it takes him a while to get back to where he needs to be. And actually, we need him back firing, and we need the Maddison that's scoring and assisting, not the Maddison that's falling over, moaning. And there were at times last season that there wasn't really a difference between him and Bruno Fernandes in terms of their behaviour around the referees, right? So I don't like that. You just look, mate, get up. The ref's got to make a decision. Let the ref make a decision, get on with the game, and there was far too much of, rolling around and all that nonsense. So yeah, let's hope he comes back firing. And it's great for great for England and Spurs next season.
The other thing you got to look at, Kate, is as well that Grealish was taken out. If there was one more going to go in there and they were going to take a striker out, it would be Grealish because he's had the much better season. So Teddy.
Yeah. Angus asked, do you think Mainu will start? I mean, Nick, you touched on it about Southgate being brave. Do you think he's brave enough to start him?
Well, look, we've seen it. We've seen it from previous England managers. We've seen Michael Owen at the World Cup. We've seen Wayne Rooney as well. Look, they could we see? You know, could they do a Beckham? Could they do and do what he did in France '98 and lose his mind? Absolutely. But you know what? We need players that have no fear. Not, all of the other players, your Kanes, most of the players in the squad have been there. They've got knocked out in a semi-final. They've lost in the final. Mainu hasn't done that. So look, he's young, he's raw. He's been a shining light for Man United. And if we're talking about Southgate bleats on about playing players on form, well, that's one player that that should start for me.
Yeah, Jim, do you think he's going to start him? Obviously, he's only a young kid.
It doesn't matter how young he is; it's how good you are, and he's a fantastic player. He's been an absolute revelation in the Premier League this season. That's what Bergville's going to do next season, and I think, he's. I'd love to see him start. He excites me when I watch him.
Yeah. Luke and Dan, I don't understand this message. Kate, big up Kate, Jim, and big up chat. Kate, can you and Jim line up your faces to the background bodies behind us? It's quite close now. I don't understand. Am I missing something?
I don't get it either.
Oh, good. It's not just me. I thought I was being blonde, but I'm sure Dan will explain. But good to see you anyway, Dan. I still can't believe Braithwaite wasn't taken. It's ridiculous. Yeah, a few people have said that, to be fair. Bellingham fancies Kate.
Does he? Cool.
Don't know. Very true, Jimbo. Age is only a number. Good enough. Take him. Yeah. Big up Bobby K. Hope you're well, sir. Nice to see you and all that. So yeah, obviously England play tonight. I think it's the last. Is it the last friendly then before the big game?
Yeah, Iceland.
Yeah. So I mean, they got a lot of criticism for their performance against. Was it Serbia? The other day? No, not Serbia.
England.
Who did we play?
England.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Serbia.
No, it was. This is how much I take interest in England friendlies. Who? Bosnia and Herzegovina, was it?
Arca Amelia.
Well, she didn't say that. She said Bavinia, but I knew what she meant.
Bavinia in the middle, yeah.
The Oracle has spoken.
I knew what she meant. Bosnia and Herzegovina, but you were close enough. Tonight probably could be more difficult, but Nick, are you confident with England going into the Euros? Let's put it that way.
I'm confident we'll get out of the group, but then you never know. I mean, look, it's for me, you've seen Germany falter in the last few tournaments. Obviously, we beat them as well. So, look, that doesn't happen very often. I don't think that you're going to be in a situation where, I don't think you're going to be in a situation where they're going to falter being on home soil. So I think, look, I think we need to go deep. It's going to be tough. Obviously, you don't know. There could be some surprises. There could be a team that plays. I understand it now. Yeah, I get it. Now. So yeah, look, there are some teams that maybe surprise you. Like we've seen in the past, Greece winning it, Denmark when they did it. All that. What was that? 92 maybe. So look, but I think Germany, France, Spain. And us, look, I know we're the favourites, but because of the team, the players that we got, but I just think that We will do England things just like Tottenham do Tottenham things. I think it'll be you look at the final, we took the lead and then we sat back rather than going for it. We'll probably lose him on a penalty shootout. We normally do. So yeah, I think it's just no expectation, and then we can then we'll see what happens, right?
Yeah. The girl that knows nothing about football had to tell me the answer. She's very impressed with herself, I've got to say. Big up, Chang. I hope you're not feeling too poorly. Thanks for coming on. Obviously, we've been discussing. How you feeling?
My fever has quelled somewhat. It was very high this morning, and I was surprised to even get to work. But I'm high as a kite right now from probably overdosage of cough syrup. Cough syrup and paracetamol and aspirin does that to you. So for those of you who have ever operated heavy machinery or even driven under the influence, I kid you not, never ever do it. I'm not even driving. I'm just doing a podcast, and I don't even trust my own. I don't even trust my own lips right now. I don't trust the words coming out of my mouth.
Chang. Do you know what? I used to love those days, right? Back here, we used to get drowsy and non-drowsy medicine, right? And if you felt rubbish, you'd have a massive swig. You wouldn't even get the spoon. You'd have a massive swig of the drowsy, and then it'd knock you to sleep, and then you'd feel better. They don't even sell it anymore, I don't think. So, that's. I'm not going on a rant about cough medicine, but there you go.
For us Asians here, that is, I think, the closest you can get to sleeping pills. If you have ever heard of Valium, if everyone knows what Valium is, I think that's the closest that you can get to sleeping pills here in Asia. So yeah, I'm never ever overdosing on cough syrup again before doing a show. But let's get back to the topics here. I heard someone say something about the English national team. Yesterday on Queen Ellie's show with Mr. Stroker and Mr. Degu, I said something along the lines of, it's going to be a very strange international tournament for us Spurs fans, seeing as there isn't a single English Spurs player representing the Three Lions in a good long while. I honestly cannot recall for the life of me when was the last time England were
1992, Chang. 1992.
Ooh, that's long. That's very, very long. That's over 3 decades ago. That's how long it's been. And I was just comparing the earlier on, you mentioned something about the penalty shootout, how we would most likely go on penalties. If you recall, the last time we actually won a penalty shootout, I believe that was against Colombia. Again, in one of those World Cup knockout rounds. It was Kane, Kieran Trippier, and I believe the winning penalty was scored by Eric Dyer, was it? Yeah, it was Eric Dyer.
It was.
So how far, or rather how low have we come from those days under Pochettino, when you could see, even the Spurs bench, the Spurs bench from both camps, the Belgian camp and the English camp, those Spurs players mingling with each other. You would see Alderweireld, Vertonghen, Danny Rose, Kyle Walker, and I think it was Harry Winks or one of those players who were just mingling at the touchline, and it felt so homely. It felt so good to see that even the subs from both sides were almost heavily laden with Spurs players, and with Pedro Porro also their Spanish national team. My goodness, where do we go from here?
Yeah, I hear
I'd like my say. I'd like my say.
I was just going to come to you and say, come on, Mr. Optimistic. Tell us what's going to happen.
We're going to win it. We're going to win it. We're going to bring it home. 100%. No argument. England are coming home with that trophy.
You reckon?
Yeah.
I personally think we're never going to win anything with Southgate as the manager, because I just think I just don't like the way he sets up and plays football. But as I said earlier, if you'll remember, make sure you go to the post and pick who you think's going to win, because there will be a prize to the person. Or if there's more than one person that predicts it, we'll do a draw. But there will be a prize if you predict the winner of the Euros. If I had to put you on the spot right this second, Nick, and say who wins the Euros this year, who are you picking?
I'm going to say France.
That's my pick as well. I've said France. Chang, who are you going with?
I'm going for a bold pick here. I'm going to pick the host. I'm going to pick Germany to come out on top. They very nearly did it in the Champions League. I mean, honestly, between Borussia Dortmund and Bayern Munich, you wouldn't have thought that it was Dortmund representing Germany in the Champions League final. So I'm hoping the German national squad goes one better this time around and actually lift that trophy on home soil. Although I know it's going to be a big ask, but if this is going to be one last final swan song for Manuel Neuer, then let this be that tournament for him.
Yeah, and Jim, I think we all know what you're going to say.
Spurs are going to win it. No, England. England.
Okay. Well, it'll be interesting to see.
I don't go against my club, and I don't go against my country.
It's not about going against them. It's being realistic, darling.
I'm being realistic. We're winning it. You wait till the season starts. What I say about Spurs.
I hope you're right.
We know what you're going to say, Jim. We know what you're going to say. The quad is on.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good point. After Euro 2024, is Southgate going to go to manage club level? And if he does, Jim, who would you take him at Spurs?
I've just got this feeling, right? I've got this feeling, and I've had it for a while now, that Man United are waiting till the Euros is finished, and I think they're going to get Southgate.
Really?
That's why he's not gone yet. I think that they're waiting till it's finished, and they're going to offer him a big package. If he takes it or not, I don't know, but I just got a feeling.
Chang, can you see Southgate managing at club level? And, is he good enough to manage a big club in the Premier League, do you think?
I definitely feel that he can manage at club level, but which club suits his level, I think is a whole nother question altogether. For me, he's far too young to just call it quits and manage national teams for the rest of his managerial career. I feel that maybe if we could get something like an Aston Villa, a Newcastle, or even a struggling, let's say West Ham. West Ham might be his level if the board are willing to back him heavily, the same way Villa and Palace and also Newcastle are doing just that to a certain extent. So I would say that Gareth Southgate's level is somewhere around West Ham or Everton, mid-table maybe, because I don't think any big club, any top club would take a punt on him if it's not proven at club level just yet. So he has proven that he can do it for England, but that final hurdle, actually winning silverware, getting past the finish line, I think that this is his biggest task. I would say that yes, the odds are in his favor to take over from Erik ten Hag at Manchester United, but whether that's this coming season, since ten Hag has recently won an FA Cup, remains to be seen. Let's just see how he does for England first, and based on his performance with the English national team in the Euros, then we can judge him further.
Yeah, I mean, Nick, do you think he's a top-level manager?
Top level for what? Pizza Hut or whatever. No, look, we saw what he did when he was manager of Middlesbrough or whatever he was. I think he was manager of Middlesbrough. I can't remember.
Yeah, it was.
But look, I don't even think that you're taking him at, even if you're taking him at a Leicester or somewhere like that. Do you know what I mean? I think Leo's right. It's Championship and below. I don't think it's anyone just because he's done what maybe some others haven't done. But actually, when you look at the caliber of English players from, even from the Scholes, Gerrard, Lampard kind of era, even before that, we've always just fallen short, right? And I don't think it's almost like it's a Spurs mentality. When you've got that time to kick on and the need to kick on, we never kick on, or no one stands up. Like I said, I hope that changes with Bellingham. Bellingham, I think, definitely is not that type of player that will just, let things sit on their laurels. But it just seems to, you look at it. When we had Gerrard and Lampard in the middle, it never worked. But for their club, they were fantastic. And the same thing. Will a Foden, Saka, Bellingham work? I don't know. So yeah. It's I just think that he's not the type of manager that's going. Unfortunately, we all want England to go out, win 3, 4, 5-0, but these are the types of games and tournaments where you stink out a 1-0 win and win the trophy, right? And that's all that matters. And I don't think we as a country are built in that way that we want to. I'd take 1-0 boring 1-0 Arsenal wins every single week, right, to go and win something. But I think people like, I want to be entertained. The group that England have got, they'll be expecting 6s, 5s, and everything else nil, right, in the teams that we're playing. But as we've seen, what was it, the World Cup, when we drew the opening game when Defoe scored the equaliser, everyone thought England were gonna kind of stroll that game and stroll that group, and I don't think it's as easy, unfortunately.
Yeah, big up Phil P, and woo to you. Good to see you. England will win nothing with Southgate. Give him a 20-year contract. I say, boo, Paddy, boo.
Look, I think everyone's a bit harsh on him. He took us to a final, took us to a semi-final. I mean,
yeah, but
I'm not being funny. I think any of us could have taken us to a semi and a final with those players.
I think you're being a bit harsh. I think that we could do well this tournament if he's learned his lessons on some of the mistakes.
You're part of the problem, Jim. Raise your standards. You're part
I'm
of the
problem. About a lot of things in life, but I don't really care what people think. But I think people are a bit harsh on him. I think that he's not an idiot, is he? He's going to learn from his mistakes, and let's hope he does this time.
Yeah. Would you rather 3 years with Ange and no trophies, or 3 years with Conte and the last year win the treble? Well, that's obvious. I'd rather have the treble with anyone. I don't think anyone would argue that, but it's not going to happen. Conte's gone. That era has passed. All of a sudden, Conte's being talked about as if he was the best thing since sliced bread. I think people forget just how miserable it was under Antonio Conte. Cole Simpson says, all down to the players, Jim. Southgate's useless. Yes, I agree. This is interesting. Before I go on to transfer news, Sky Sports have just said that Chelsea don't need to sell players this month to comply with PSR.
It's not what I saw this morning on ESPN. I saw the complete opposite.
Yeah. Now, everything I read tells me that they've got to sell players to conform with PSR. Has something changed? Because I know they did. Weren't they still in their hotel and that's fallen through? I mean, does anyone know anything about
selling their hotel or transferring it to another part of the business that looks like they've sold the hotel? The same with the training ground.
Exactly. I mean, I don't know, but I'm seeing a hell of a lot today about Chelsea being linked with a lot of different players. So I'm wondering if there is truth in that. But this whole PSR business, I don't understand it. People seem to be getting away with a lot of shenanigans at the minute. But like I say, I don't know enough about it. Jim's seen something different on ESPN. So
I was watching ESPN this morning, and they had 5 of them on there. One was an ex-Chelsea, and they're talking that they've got to sell players up to about 90 to 100 million to get in line. So
so I think there's a deadline, isn't there? There's 6 clubs that need to
the end of June.
By the end of June. But apparently, I've just seen it now saying that they don't. Sky Sports understand, not that means it's thingy, but Chelsea insisting this is not the case.
So it's Chelsea that are saying they haven't got to. So it might be a front because they don't want people to take the piss with how much they're going to offer for their players. It could be
ESPN, the way they were talking, it's like they're convinced they got to sell between 90 and 100 million.
Okay, well, apparently Chelsea want Alvarez, but again, whether that's feasible, I don't know, and whether Man City would sell to them, I don't know. There's a lot of differing reports, but first bit of transfer news, not anything particularly exciting, just that Genoa and Tottenham are advancing in talks for the permanent signing of Jed Spence. At the end of the day, I'm a little bit gutted. I really thought this kid had a lot to offer us, but it hasn't worked out. I mean, Chang, were you like me? Did you get sort of excited at the prospect of this kid? And is it, you know, I just feel gutted that it just hasn't gone that way.
Honestly, yes, I was as excited for this kid when he signed for us, but Conte made it very clear, even before Spence had even kicked the ball at Spurs, that he was always going to be a Levy signing. And in that way, and in such, I think that has gone a long way to marginalizing him from Conte and the rest of the squad. You could see that his chances were always going to be few and far between under Conte. And even after Conte left, when Big Ange took over, the appearances that he got under his belt during preseason were very few and far between, which tells me that there is actually something else than just him being a Levy signing that maybe has rubbed Big Ange the wrong way about him. If he doesn't get his if he doesn't get his act together and he doesn't get his priorities right, I'm afraid it's just going to be yet another washed up. I wouldn't say has been, because he hasn't really been up to that level. Almost like wasted talent to a certain extent, because he had chances to play in the Premier League at the top level. And if the Championship is his level, or if those relegation clubs are his level, then I think it's going to be such a waste for him. But looking forward, I really do hope Genoa sign him on a permanent. I really hope that this is going to be the first of many other outgoings, seeing as how we have a very over-bloated squad to get rid of. I would say that Daniel Levy, also being Daniel Levy, he won't stinge on his selling price, which tells me that it might drag out. But I'm fairly confident that we can do a business, or rather we can do a deal for Spence to be sold before the actual preseason gets underway. And here's to many more other fringe players going out the door, following Jet Spence in his footsteps.
Yeah, I mean, apparently he's got an £8.5 million release clause, but Genoa don't want to activate it. They want a discount, if you please. Jim, could you see Jed going this window?
Really disappointed about him, because I had so much high hopes for him. I thought he was going to come in and be brilliant for us. I don't know what happened. We read it, it's his attitude. But he's gone through 3 managers, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah.
Jose, Conte, and Ange.
No, it's Conte and Ange, isn't it? And Mason in between. Is that right? I think.
And Stellini and the Sea Lady and everything else. Yeah.
And none of them wanted him. So it's got to be something wrong. But it's very disappointing. I mean, just let him go. So take the discounted price and just get him out of the club. So it's another one out the door. You know, if he's not going to fit in, get rid of him.
Yeah, I think for me, I wasn't keen on him, if I'm honest with you. I think he had a couple of good games in the FA Cup against Premier League sides. He didn't set the Championship final on fire, and that was when I was watching him thinking this is going to be great. So look, it's another player that has been scouted poorly. I don't think that he was ever going to do anything, and I think it was just it was just a mess from start to finish and everything else.
Nick,
random question.
Are you about 6'2"?
6?
Oh,
no,
6
I'm about
foot.
6 foot.
You felt when I met you, you seemed taller than that. You're like a giant. But that's because I'm married to a little hobbit. That's probably why. Jimbo the Hobbit. Mark says, as far as he's aware, if the training ground and hotel go through, they don't. But 100 million is free players. We're not Arsenal. We sell players. That is true. Sean Butler Army says, ask my question to Barry. We need his measurements for the lieutenant suit in our army. There you go.
Okay. That's a new one, but there you go.
Did Jed Spence play in the Beta Squad charity match?
No clue.
I don't know if that's a joke. I don't know. Big up, love Spurs. Good to see you. But yeah, that's the first bit of news. Next bit of news, Villa interested again in signing Gio I think, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, we are. Lo Celso's now in the final year of his contract. Villa have shown that they're interested in him. Lo Celso has already rejected an offer for him to go to the Middle East, apparently. He's said to want to go back to Spain. But Villa are interested in signing him. I mean, Nick, do you think Lo Celso should go? Jim and I are both of the same page that we don't want him at the club.
Yeah, he's just. I mean, look, he's not shown enough for me. When he's shown something, he's got injured or says that he's got injured, and then he turns up for Argentina. I think he just needs to go. He's not going to get. He's had plenty of chances, I think. And yeah, I think Rinketic says it right. Go and offer him that plus some money for Douglas Luiz. So yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that'd be nice. Chang, do you want to see back of Lo Celso?
I mean, honestly, I think his time is up because he's been around since Pochettino. That's how long he's been at the club. When he was part of that group of Argentinian players alongside Juan Foyt and Lamela and Paulo Gazzaniga. So I think he's already more than worn out his welcome. If the price is right, just pay whatever Villa are asking for him and use those funds. Use the funds from the Lo Celso sale to raid Nottingham Forest for Morgan Gibbs-White. I feel that if we can get even a substantial fee, use that into its fullest to get Morgan Gibbs-White. That's how I feel this deal should go. Sell Gio to Aston Villa if Morgan Gibbs-White is a certainty to join from Forest.
Yeah. Jim, are you still Lo Celso out?
Yeah, I mean, look, he come on and he done well in some games, but I just think to myself, you know how loyal I am to family and friends, Kate, and I just don't think he's a loyal person. He should have stayed at Spurs and fought his arse off to get in the team, but he didn't, did he? He wasn't bothered at the beginning. Give half-hearted performances, and they ended up getting rid of him when we paid all that money for him. So I just can't have it. You can't pick and choose when you play for a club when you think you're going to try. Should have been trying every single game when he puts that shirt on. So I'm glad to see the back of him. If he stays, I'll get behind him as long as he puts his heart and soul into it. But I can't see it. I think he'd be gone.
Chang, I'll come to you on this. A question from Rinketic says, is there any reason to get both Eze and Gibbs-White since they're kind of the same?
I mean, there are two different school of thoughts here with regards to the playing style for Eze and Gibbs-White. Eze, I feel he pushes far higher up the pitch than Gibbs-White, whereas Gibbs-White is more flexible in the middle. Gibbs-White, don't get me wrong, Gibbs-White can push very far up in the middle as a number 10, but he also can drop very far deep down to a number 8 or even a number 6. So I think they are two very similar players, but they offer so much more in terms of their range and their technical ability individually. And if you put them together, I mean, wow, you can have like 2 8s interchanging between 6 and 10 throughout the entire game. That's what I feel those two can offer to us. If we do push the boat out to get them both for maybe a combined fee of 100 million, I would budget 100 million for them both. Get Eze and Morgan Gibbs-White for a combined fee of 100 million, if that is within Daniel Levy's budget.
Big up, David Shear. How are you, my lovely? Good to see you, sir. Nick, what do you think? Do you consider Morgan Gibbs-White Eze to be the same? Is one better than the other? What's your opinion?
Well, look, I mean, both from a homegrown quota, I guess helps. The same, not really. I think Morgan Gibbs-White is not really a big fish. He's a medium fish in a small pond at Forest.
Mm-hmm.
Eze, there's plenty of other players, and I think for me, if we're serious about what we want to do, then for me, some fans will say, "Oh, we tried Freze, but then we got Gibbs White, and I want Gibbs White." But look, being greedy, we could take both, right? We've got enough. We've got enough space for both, and obviously, yeah. And like Aaron says, Eze is probably the reason Grealish has been left out. So look, I think we want the best, right? This is not a case of going for your first option and then going for your fifth option. I'm not saying Morgan Gibbs White is the fifth option, but yeah, I'd be underwhelmed if it was just Morgan Gibbs White. But I think we could, no doubt we could get both. We can have hopefully plenty of games with Europe and the cup competitions, and we're gonna, we don't know what's gonna happen. Someone's gonna get injured. Someone, maybe they don't get injured. Where maybe we're gonna have a season like Arsenal did, and it's gonna be fine. But look, we need about 11 players, right, to upgrade this squad.
Yeah.
But yeah. That's what I think,
Yeah, I'm kind of the same thoughts as Nick. But if they both come in, as long as we get Eze, I'll be happy. But I think if they buy Eze, they won't buy Gibbs White. But if they bring them both in, and then don't get Gibbs White plays a bit more forward than Eze, doesn't he?
I don't know. I just think
I thought it was the other way around.
I just think Eze is a whole other level above Gibbs White. I just think Eze's so much better than him.
Eze's in a different league to him.
Yeah.
I've not seen much of Gibbs White, to tell you the truth. I've watched more of Eze. But I've not really took much notice of Gibbs White. So,
Roddy says we need players now coming in that takes up a level. That's Eze and not Gibbs White. Yeah, I do kind of agree with that. Sesko doesn't want to play for Arteta because he thinks he's a B-Tech coach. Oh, shots fired.
Is that true? No. Is that true?
No, it's not. No. Arsenal and Chelsea are interested. Do you know the funny thing is all the transfer stories at the minute, Arsenal and Chelsea seem to have the same targets. I don't know which one's copying which, but there's definitely some shared targets here. Arsenal are among Premier League clubs interested in Federico. Is it Chiesa? Is that how you say it? Chiesa. Of Juventus. Juve are said to be asking between 40-45 million euros, and he's also wanted by Napoli and Roma. So that's obviously paper talk, a rumour. Don't know what's going to happen. Big up GBC fan. Good to see you. Angus is saying yes, please. Aaron's saying that Liverpool now want Elise. Well, you saying that again with what I'm saying about Chelsea are now ready to battle United for Elise. So I haven't read Liverpool are also interested in him, but Chelsea, this is what I mean about these players. They've come out now and said that they're going to go for Elise as well. The Standard understands Chelsea have made the Crystal Palace star a priority addition this summer, having come in very close to securing his return last year before the deal fell through at the last minute. Chelsea are ready to make a move for Elise, who could be available for around 60 mil, although there is plenty of difficulty and debate around the release clause as things stand. Nick, do you think Crystal Palace will allow Elise and Eze to go in the same window?
Well, I don't know whether they have a choice. If they've both got release clauses in their contracts, then someone meets that release clause and then that's it, really. But look, I think, for me, would they want to let them both go? No. Do they have an option? They probably don't, because United need to strengthen. We need to strengthen. Chelsea will just go and do Chelsea things and try and buy everyone. So look, everyone would want to keep them because obviously, look, they've got 4 players in the England squad, and that's the first time since God knows, probably ever. I don't ever remember seeing that many Palace players being in an England squad, or even having one or two. So they'll want to keep them both. And is it a surprise that they're going to be linked to all the top clubs? Absolutely not, because you saw how they finished. You can see what's happening there. I mean, look, they have signed Kamada, that obviously worked under Glasner before. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe they've lined up a replacement. Maybe they think we can. They're in a stage where they've got assets, and unfortunately, because with their stadium and everything else, they're going to have to probably sell both eventually. And if they don't go, then I think Elise and Eze will regret it, right? So
yeah. Jim, do you see Palace allowing them both to go? I mean, Eze's apparently got a gentleman's agreement that he can go this summer window no matter what, as long as the offer comes in. There's release clauses, like Nick said, in their contracts. Can you see them both going?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, okay. Because if players want to go, what's the point of the club keeping them? And it looks like they both want to go. And this guy has only just got there, hasn't he? So it's not like he's built this squad, and moving forward with him, he's just got there. So yeah, I can see them both going, definitely.
Yeah. Chang, you have the same thought?
Yeah, I do have the same thought, because I think this isn't the first time we've seen something like this, where a club completely dismantles itself with selling their best players. If you look back at the season where we got Pochettino, I believe that was a season Southampton were just selling players left, right, and center. The way they got rid of Luke Shaw, Morgan Schneiderlin, I think they also sold Oxlade-Chamberlain and Theo Walcott, amongst a whole glut of other players, Southampton, when they when they parted ways with Pochettino. So, I mean, compared to that, this is nothing for Palace. But if Palace are indeed serious on building what they have, I mean, I read somewhere, I mean, I could be wrong, but I read somewhere that Crystal Palace have the most English players representing England in the coming Euros. I think it's 4, if memory serves me right. So if they are to build on that, maybe selling their best players might not be the right. Now might not be the right time for them to sell their best players. But again, I think I've seen stranger things happens. And if anything, if I were a betting man, I would tip Eze to be the first one to be sold. Once Eze gets sold, then I think the rest will just tumble like dominoes, and it won't be before long before Michael Olise follows him out the door. So I think it's up to us really to just get the ball rolling and do what we always do best, which is to spend ludicrous amounts of money for players who hopefully this time around with Eze don't come and be another pink elephant for us. But I mean, yeah, back to Olise and Eze. I think it is possible, but maybe if one of them digs their heels in, they might eventually end up staying. I just hope it's not Eze, because I really do want him at Spurs. Back to you.
Yeah, I think everybody wants him. I mean, interesting little bit of news that Conor Gallagher, if I say his name, Conor Gallagher has said that he wants to see out his remaining contract at Chelsea. Obviously, we've been linked with him. Villa have been linked with him. Atletico Madrid, Newcastle, and Chelsea are keen to let him go, but they're looking for around 50 mil. But Gallagher has said that he wants to stay at Stamford Bridge for the last 12 months of his deal, which would mean Chelsea would end up losing him next year on a free transfer. I mean, Jim, what happens there? What do you think about that? I mean, they can't force him to go if he doesn't want to go, and if he wants to see out his contract and go on a free. I mean, what's your thoughts?
I hate it when players do that, because I don't think it's fair to the club that have paid their wages. I really don't. I think it's just a terrible thing for a player to do. I think that they should give something back to the club. But yeah, I can't see him going on a free. I think that they're either talk him into a new contract or sell him this season. and sort it out with his agents. But it's just, if he does that, he'll go down in my estimations as a person. That's for sure. I detest it when players do that to clubs.
I know, and he's Chelsea through and through, so I don't know if I can see him doing that.
No.
I mean, what's your thoughts, Chang?
I mean, this isn't the first time we've seen something at this level, have we? I mean, if you think back to Christian Eriksen and him also wanting to do something very similar before we finally got rid of him by selling him to Inter Milan in the closing days of the winter transfer window when Mourinho took over. Players running down a contract is nothing new, but when you are costing your club, in his case, in Gallagher's case, his supposed boyhood club, millions and millions and millions of pounds in terms of potential revenue that the club could have earned from your sale. I think it's very unfair to the club who has been paying your wages all this long while. And I honestly would not want him on a free if that were the case, because if he's willing to leave his boyhood club, Chelsea, on a free, God knows what he's going to do at Spurs if it does come to us on a free transfer.
Yeah, I hear you. And Martin, big up to you. He's asking about your tattoo, Jimbo.
Yeah, he's new. Yeah, I did, a few months old.
Yeah. Gallagher is dead right. He's club captain, and yeah, they pay players who don't even start more. Isn't Madueke Spurs for decided to run his contract down? It happens. It does happen. I don't like it though.
No, I don't like it either.
It's kind of a kick in the teeth. I mean, we all know a certain Mr. Campbell who did it and then went to the enemy.
I mean, Kane. The thing that I read about Kane is that he wanted to sign another year contract so that he wouldn't, if he left the season after, if we didn't do well under Postecoglou, and Levy wanted to sign a 3-year contract and he wouldn't. He said he'd sign another year. That's why he went, because he didn't want to do the club. So that's what a player should do, a loyal player.
Thing is, as well, if they run their contract down, they then get the signing on fee, don't they? So
they need it paid, don't they? The wages they get.
No, but what I'm saying is, it ends up getting a bit more financially beneficial to them.
But the thing is, thanks, David. The thing is, there's such thing as loyalty. It's not all about money. Would you sell? Did you sell your principles for money there? People should have principles and loyalty.
Yeah, I agree. But it is what it is. Nick, I don't know if you heard all that, but there's Gallagher saying he wants to run down the last 12 months of his contract. I mean, what do you think about the situation?
Well, I think it just goes to show you can make all the noise and you can say you love the club and you can do all this, but actually it all comes down to money at the end of the day. And he doesn't need to say it. He could just stay quiet, but he's obviously basically he's trying to force the club. So the club is saying, well, obviously we don't want to lose you for nothing. So you can get a new deal and we know we're going to have to pay you more money. So yeah, it's unfortunately it's the way that football is and everything else, right? They're just a commodity at the end of the day, and if they don't like it, they think the grass is always greener. So look, I think it's disappointing for him to say that after everything. I'm not going to leave. I don't want to leave. I don't want to go. And then all of a sudden, well, I'm going to run my contract down. Then if that's the situation. Yeah. Because then it's trying to force their hand. It's trying to force their hand one way or another. Either sell them or give them a new contract. And unfortunately, not so much in Gallagher's case, but if you look at Mbappe, he went and got 85 million sign-on fee. And all right, you could see you again, not comparing Mbappe and Gallagher, but it's the same thing. I guess if we're in the same situation, as much as we disagree with it, we'd probably do it. If someone said to you, right, this is the contract offer, or we're gonna have to, you'll leave for free, and then someone else comes in and goes, don't worry, we'll get this and we'll get that, then you're gonna go, all right, I'll just sit here and stink it out for a year. It doesn't matter. I'm getting paid 150 grand a week. Someone wants me, I'm gonna get 250 grand a week and a 50 million pound signing on fee.
Yeah.
You know, we would probably do the same, right?
I want
Yeah.
to say to was it Love Spurs who just put someone offers me
more money
to do the same job, I'll be there like a shot. Well, that's all right if you want to be like that. I'm not saying don't do it, but I had a job where I earned good money, and I was offered another job with a lot more money, but I'd been at my job 15 years, and I knew the family I worked for well, and I didn't want to stab them in the back, so I stayed where I was. I still earn good money. It's not like I was earning like 100 quid a week or something. I was on good money, but I was offered nearly double my wages and I never took it because I wanted to be loyal.
Yeah, unfortunately there's not that much around anymore, Jimbo, but I hear you. Mark is a big up
that's
to
funny
Aaron.
what Adrian Croker just said.
Yeah, it'd be hilarious if it turns out Ange isn't interested in Gallagher. Yeah, it will. Big up Aaron for the super sticker as well. Thank you very, 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 very much to both you and David. They're always injured, so Gallagher ends up wearing captain's armbands. He should be paid at least on equal terms as some of the dross who get paid more. Loyalty don't pay my bills.
Yeah, but I was earning enough money to pay my bills anyway.
Exactly,
so
exactly.
I was earning good money, but
yeah,
I mean, and
you're right, Jim. I'm not going to move somewhere. I've been here 7-8 years now. I'm not going to move somewhere for £20 extra or £30 extra or £40 extra a day. For what? To work my arse off again. You know, I'm comfortable. I can come on streams, cut the grass, pick the kids up from school, do what needs to be done. Why would I do that? You know, you'd have to, even if it was double, or like you say, I don't think I'd do it because it's not, you know.
Well, the thing was, Nick, the thing was, Nick, with my job, is that the guy I work for give me a chance where I had quite a bad background and no one else give me a chance, but this guy took a chance on me, so I thought I should be loyal to him.
Yeah, 100%.
Night, David. Thank you for the super sticker. Take care. It was 3 hours ago. It was announced that Chelsea have signed Tosin Adarabioyo as the first Enzo Maresca signing. Obviously, we were linked with him quite a lot, and apparently he turned us down more than once. There was talks of him going on a co. Thoughts? Anyone got any thoughts on Tosin?
Well, I just think from my point of view, he's not going to come. Sorry, Chang, just quickly, and then I said just from my point of view, he doesn't care about where he's going. He's not going to start. He wouldn't have started for us. He wouldn't have started for. So he's probably not going to start for Chelsea, or he's got more chance of starting. But sign a nice big contract, stay there for 4 years, 5 years, and then see what's next. Do you know what I mean? He's on a win-win situation. He's going to be earning more than he was at Fulham. He doesn't have to move house. He doesn't have to do anything else, so it's an easy win for him. If you know, from my point of view, in that respect.
Yeah, Chang, what was you going to say?
I was just about to say that I think Tosin made the absolute right choice to wait for a club who can offer him starting berth in the first 11. I mean, just look at Dragushin. Dragushin can't even get into our squad with Romero and Van der Ven almost often fully fit, both of them together. So Tosin isn't the kind of player who would like to warm the bench because it's with his level, with his talents, I think he's a surefire starter in most Premier League clubs. So for him to make the move to Chelsea, I think it's a logical move for him, seeing as how I think he's going to be hailed as the new replacement. He's going to be the replacement for Thiago Silva, if I'm reading this correctly. So good for him going to Chelsea. And I mean, this so-called rebuild under Maresca, it could be very interesting as well if Chelsea don't have to sell as many players as was earlier reported. And let's just hope that any other targets that we have in mind won't think along the same lines as Tosin, because we would really love to have top quality players, not to just make up the numbers, but to actually challenge our existing starting 11 and actually give some competition to some players like Maddison, whom in recent months has been a bit off form. So yeah, getting players like Tosin who are willing to fight for their place and are willing to be patient would be the mantra for Big N.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm not overly bothered that we didn't end up getting Tosin. Yeah, to be fair, we did try and get him. He didn't want to come, and that's how it is. But so Chelsea have made their first signing. This was a weird story that's come out today. Italian journalist
that Antonio is absolutely spot on there. Why would we want him? He didn't want to come.
And football journalist Massimo Brambardi tips I'm not even going to say the first name. Tips Allegri for Tottenham Hotspur job, which is quite kind of bonkers. But he's come out and said that Allegri is absolutely desperate to work in the Premier League, but hasn't had any offers. And the fact that he and Paratici are extremely close friends. They think this guy thinks that Allegri will be a serious option for Daniel Levy going forward should there be a need to replace Postecoglou. And obviously there'd be no compensation as he's already parted ways with Juventus. I mean, Jimbo, what's going on? They're talking about our manager being replaced already.
Well, look. One thing's for sure, right? This is 100% going to happen sooner or later. Andy's going to leave Tottenham and we're going to get a new manager in, right? That's just going to happen. So maybe they're looking at if by Christmas, like a lot of people think, we're not going to be doing great and we need a new manager. Maybe they've spoke to him, lined him up, but I don't think it's going to be like anytime soon, but they might just be preparing. So, but he's going to get sacked or he's going to walk sooner or later, be it this season, next season, season after. One thing's for sure, he's going to be going sooner or later. So maybe they're just preparing in case we have a bad start to the season.
Nick, any thoughts on this story? I just think it's a bit bonkers that it's come out.
No, I think Jim's right in the fact that sooner or later, Andy's not going to be our manager. So, I mean, I don't really understand where this links comes from. Maybe he just wanted to get some traction. I don't know. It's all a bit weird.
Yeah. Allegri or Potter will be in charge of Spurs by Christmas.
Please, not Potter. Not Potter. I take Allegri, but I don't want Potter.
Anyone but Graham Potter. I totally mirror Mr. Boxall's sentiment about Graham Potter. I mean, he had his chance with Chelsea, and look how he turned up. Massimiliano Allegri, I think that's what they call him over at Juventus. Massimiliano Allegri. If you thought that Antonio Conte was one-dimensional, I think Allegri is going to be a big downgrade on Conte. He's not going to be able to recapture his form from Serie A, looking at how he plays. I mean, of course, it might be too harsh to judge Allegri just based on what is done at Serie A and Juventus. But if we were to get another manager other than Big Ange, let's just push the boat out for someone who really knows what he's doing. That's not to say that there are too many managers out there right now who really know what they're doing. Maybe an Arnie Slot, but he's already gone to Liverpool, so I think we can cross that one off our list. But I think there are better managers out there compared to Allegri, whom I would definitely prefer at Spurs. I mean, if Carlo Ancelotti fancies coming back to the Premier League, and this time not with Everton, let's push the boat out for him. You never know if things might actually work out for him at Spurs.
Yeah, let's just hope Ange works out. He gets his back in and he ain't going anywhere. But big up Martin Knightsbridge, who says Jim has loyalty, but Kate has more by staying with him all this time and only pushing him down the stairs once. Thank you for that. You wouldn't believe how many times I've wanted to push him down the stairs, but I've got self-control. What can I say? But also big up because I've just hit 1,400 subscribers. Woohoo!
Hey,
It's been like teetering on the edge for a few days, so I've just smashed it. So thank you very much to whoever subscribed. Another interesting story's come out today. Honestly, I don't know where they get these from, but Tottenham and Chelsea are among the clubs who've shown an interest in signing Kylian Mbappe's brother, Ethan. Spurs and Chelsea both expected to be active in this summer's window. And apparently they're interested in this guy who is 17. So he's obviously one for the future. Yeah, and apparently we're one of the teams who's expressed an interest. I don't know if this is taking the piss, you want to know the truth. I mean, imagine that we sign Mbappe, but it's his little brother. Jim, do you think there's any truth in this? Do you think it's a load of old rubbish?
I never even knew he had a brother until you said it to me this morning. So I don't know.
Neither did I.
Yeah.
No, there you go. There we go.
If there's anyone's brother whom we should be signing, it would be Bellingham's brother.
Yeah, I mean, I've had to be fair, Chang, I've heard loads of people say they don't want him either. So it's like we go for, like, there's this big player Mbappe and we go get the Primark version. But I don't know. It says, well, GBC
both
says
both.
Are wank. Yeah. But then Rinketic says that Ethan's quite good. I don't know anything about this kid in the slightest, so I don't really want to say too much. It was just a story that caught my eye this morning, and like I say, I'm not sure if they're telling the truth. It's like this one, Chelsea eyeing a surprise move for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I mean, for me, if there's any truth in this, it's absolutely bonkers because he gets injured all the time. But this was reported. It says it's not a name you'd expect to see linked with a move to Stamford Bridge, but the Everton forward is coming back off a tough season at Goodison Park in which he only scored 8, according to the Daily Mail. Chelsea are monitoring his situation along with that of Benjamin Sesko. I mean, Nick, surely that couldn't possibly be true.
This is Chelsea doing Chelsea things. You never really know, right? You never really know. That's all you can say with Chelsea.
I mean, yeah, let this be true. I mean, it'd be hilarious, but I just can't see it. I can't see that being true. Leo with a super chat, bless you, Leo, said 1,400 amazing people, part of an amazing community. On to the next milestone. Kate and Jimbo, thank you. Leo.
Cheers, Leo.
Adrian coming in with some breaking news. The Saudis have offered 100 barrels of oil and 6 camels for Ndombele. I take it. Yeah,
take your hand off.
Take it in a heartbeat. Big up, Daniel Coy. It's good to see you. No, I don't think these links are concrete either. I just go by what's in the papers. Some of them are actually quite funny. Obviously, stating the obvious here, Tottenham face transfer conundrum. This is because we've let Tanganga and Sessegnon go. And we've now got to make sure we've got the homegrown quota. I don't know how far short we are. I mean, Adrian Schroeder's in the chat; he knows everything. But
yeah, I think we're fine for the Premier League, but we're not fine for Europe. So
yeah, that's what it says.
Yeah. So look, if we sign Eze and Tony, then it's fine. It just replaces those two. So.
Yeah, it says UEFA rules state clubs must include 4 club-trained players who were on their books for 3 seasons between the ages of 15 and 21 in their 25-man European squads. After Tanganga's exit, Spurs currently only have 4 players: Brandon Austin, Whiteman, Skip and Troy. So we were going to have to put one of our academy guys into the Europa squad, I guess.
And what if Skip goes?
Yeah, I don't know how. Yeah, I mean, look, obviously Tony and Eze won't count because they weren't at us, but it's club homegrown and homegrown or association qualified. It's just we'll just promote Mikey Moore and Dorrington or Donley,
Yeah.
or I don't know. That's the only way you're going to get around it. So, or as GBC's just said, Kyle Walker-Peters.
Yeah.
That solves the right back problem and the club trained, because he would have been club trained, or
Yeah,
Edwards as well. Yeah,
Edwards as well. Yeah.
Oh God, not Edwards. Do you know what? I think there might be a huge meltdown if we sign Kyle Walker-Peters. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, Adrian says you need 8 homegrown players
Another
for you
one.
before
Right.
to be academy trained. Yeah, another one. Austin White must skip Parrott, so these 4 will be held to their contracts. No, apparently you need 5. The new rules. Oh no, it says 5. No, it says 4. What? Spurs? I'm so confused.
Promote Mikey Moore to the
yeah,
senior squad, and that solves the problem.
That's right.
Well, I've read that Skip's asked to leave.
Hang on. Adrian's right. You need 4. So we've got the 4. But yeah, if Skip is to leave, that's what I was trying to say. I've just read my notes again.
And realistically, Parrott, what are we doing with this guy? Honestly,
Exactly. I mean, I'd rather get rid of Skip and Parrott and promote a couple of academy guys up. I don't know about anyone else, but them 2 for me just don't cut the mustard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, put Devine and Scarlett in the squad. Brian Daigle is Alfie Devine's biggest fan, I think. I'm not sure about Scarlett. I'm still sitting on the fence with him. Adrian says the only homegrown player I would add is Madueke from Chelsea. How about Sirkin? Do we have 6 million buyback clause? Yeah, this is these are all the things that got to be decided. Now Skip has asked to leave, apparently.
Yeah, I read that.
Do you know what, Love Spurs? I'm with you on Dave Scarlett. I see nothing there that gives me any indication that this guy is going to pull up any trees at all. I think he's bang average at best. But obviously, like I say, these are the rules. And we're going to have to abide by them. And the other thing is that came up today is that Andreas Pereira has opened up about his future amid transfer speculation, linking him with a move to Tottenham this summer. Reports from Brazil have claimed that Spurs have sounded out a potential move with the player's agent, and that he's open to the move.
I just got a pop-up about that, Kate.
Oh, did you? Any development, or is it just what I'm saying?
It's from Football.London saying that he is open to the move, but he doesn't want to think about it too much at the minute. He wants to concentrate on his country. Yeah,
and I think a lot of clubs are holding back on evaluations on their players because they want to see how they perform in the Euros, because it can add a few zeros on. But Pereira's a player I quite like. I mean, Chang, you got any thoughts on Andreas Pereira?
I mean, if this is the kind of player that Big Ange wants, then so be it. He has his pros, but he has his cons as well. I just hope there are more pros for him compared to the cons that came with him, being pushed around and being transferred from club to club since he was his late teens, I guess, from United, or was it Chelsea? I can't remember now. But yeah, Andreas Pereira, I mean, if he really was that good, I mean, it just doesn't make any sense why none of the top clubs have actually gone in for him. If you're to, look at the talent pool on offer in the Premiership for past players who were with the likes of United, City, Liverpool, or even Chelsea. I honestly think that there are better players than Pereira out there. But given how everyone is so competitive right now, I think not many players would like to sit on the bench. And I just mentioned Tosin Adarabioyo earlier, and how he made the right move to go to Chelsea rather than come to us and rot on the bench like Dragushin. So for the likes of Pereira, if he is to be part of the squad, I think he's only going to be a bit part player. I can't see him starting week in, week out when there are so many other better options out there compared to Pereira.
Yeah, I hear you. Look, that was all the news that I had for today. Anything anyone else has or wanted to discuss before we finish off?
No, I guess just the only thing. Obviously, we've got an interesting few weeks coming up. Euros kick off a week today. a week on Tuesday. We'll see how many. We'll see. What do we call it? Well, the first fixtures will be released at 9 o'clock. I think it is on the 18th, and then next Wednesday we'll see how many season tickets are available for Tottenham Hotspur fans, because the movements finish on Tuesday. So Wednesday, I think they'll then go on general sale to those that are eligible.
Oh, is that what happens? They put them on general sale, do they?
Well, they'll do it on the list. They'll send a list out. So, Monday's the first movement. Tuesday's the second movement. And I think that's it after Tuesday. I don't know. Let me check the email, because I'm in the second wave to try and move a little bit lower. Let me see. Obviously, it's medical conditions first. So, yeah, second phase is 2 p.m. Monday till 10 a.m. Tuesday. Once the deadline is passed, reallocations will be over to the next phase of eligible sports. So I think it'll be 2 p.m. Tuesday till 10 a.m. Wednesday, and then after that, I guess if there's any, they'll go out to people that are mad enough to be put through the saga, like I am.
It's going to be a good season next season. Have faith.
That's what George Michael said. No.
Yeah, look what happened to him. I didn't know they do we as fans find out how many season tickets haven't been taken up?
No. So I mean, I'll log in on Monday at 2 o'clock to see what's available.
Yeah.
But apart from that, then that's just the movements, right? So then, obviously, you move, and then if you move, then your seat will be available, so then other people can then move. But it depends on whether people have. You never know. You never know what the uptake's going to be, right? You never know if people are just going to renew or they're not going to renew. But yeah, there'll probably be 1,000 maybe available. Maybe not that much. I guess you never know.
I thought you liked it where you was, Nick.
Yeah. We just want to go a little bit further down.
Yeah.
We just want to go we just want to go down into the safe standing bit, right? Because we're quite high up. All right, we can see the whole pitch, but it'll be slightly cheaper. If we go down like 10 rows, it'll save like nearly 300 quid, right? So
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're close to the front, it's cheaper. It's about, I would say, it's probably about £1,000, £1,000 in the safe standing bit, whereas ours are nearly 1,300 quid. So
we need to win the lottery the weekend, Jim, so we can get a season ticket.
Actually, no, you do fucking well to win it. I don't do it.
I don't do it either.
Well, the only good thing is you can pay it off monthly, right? So I don't pay it all in one go. I pay it because I just pay it off every month. It's split over 10 months, so it's first one's like, well, you have to pay an £80 fee, and then it's spread across the rest of the 10 months. So
can I just say before you round off, how are Chelsea interested in so many people? With what I'm seeing is that they need to sell.
Well, the thing is, they could be interested in as many as they like. It's whether they can buy them.
Yeah. And
they do like to try and spread them out over longer contracts. I know there's more rules about that now, but obviously Monday as well, the Man City trial starts with their trial against the Premier League, which will be interesting. I just have no clue where this is going to go, but there was talk yesterday that if they do get found guilty, Man City will leave and go to the Super League. Please let that happen. Then everyone else might have a chance of winning something. But obviously, I don't know. Chang, when are you back on our screens?
If you are going to be doing a show on Monday at the same time at noon, I would very much love to be back, provided I can keep a lid on my throats, my cough, and my fever. I think I should have enough in the tank to get well over the weekend. So fingers crossed, by Monday I will be fully fit. If I was kind of drowsy, edgy, or even just rambling on. Not that I don't often ramble on, but if I do ramble on more than my regular share today, it's I put it down to my medication. I put it down to this Korean. I've never tried this before. This is something new. I really thought it would help, but yeah, I think the next time I'm on is going to be on Monday, if you are going to do a show on Monday. But other than that, I think the shows have pretty much dried up. Maybe, just maybe next weekend when the Euros kick off, I might be doing watch-alongs with Eugene over on Spurs Vision TV, and we will look to get the likes of Ian Meth, Chris Agambar, and a few other people on for our live watch-along on Spurs Vision TV. So I'm really hoping that does take off. Otherwise, if that doesn't take off, I will always look to contact both Mr. Sievers and Senor Garcia to do live watch-alongs as well over on El Tel Cockerel right here, as well as Sock and Ball. So yeah, I think the only other thing I have to look forward to would be the live watch-alongs for the Euros. Thanks again for having me on, Miss Kate and Mr. Boxell, and it's back to you.
Well, Chang, I just got to say that 2 days ago, Kate was in bed really, really ill. And then yesterday she got up and she wasn't well yesterday. She was still quite bad, but then she woke up this morning feeling a lot better. So I think and Kate's sister was exactly the same. So I think it's just a few days thing, 2 or 3 day thing.
Yeah, it's not nice. It's just like a really nasty head cold, and just not nice. But today I feel half human. Wednesday after the show, I was so ill, but my son's got what you've got, Chang. He's got the throat, whereas I didn't have a sore throat so much, just a chesty cough.
And I had a headache, but Kate said that was just a FOMO.
Yeah, you can't miss out. You've got to say it wrong here. But yes, we will be back Monday. Nick, are you doing anything, or are you around Monday, or are you working?
No, I've got to get my laptop fixed. So I don't know how long that's going to take. The keyboard's not working right, so I'm having to copy and paste and work between my phone, which isn't easy. And I also left my wireless keyboard in the office. So what can you do? So yeah, I've got to. Someone's dropping that off later. I've got to sort my season ticket out. I'm going to be probably missing in action probably next week.
Yeah.
Well, if Kate's up to it, I'm going to take her to lunch today.
Who?
You. I'm going to take you,
You're
your sister.
Take me out.
You, your sister, William, and Amelia, if you're all up to it. I'm going to take you all out for lunch.
Yeah. What are you after?
Yeah, what are you after?
Always
Jim,
after
right?
something, darling.
You little shit. I'm always up for eating. I haven't eaten properly for 2 days, so yeah.
She said if you're up to it, we go. That's what she said to Amelia.
That's nice. We will be back Monday, Chang. So you will be welcome to join us. I'm not sure what we're doing. Might do transfers, might do Euros, might do something completely different. But we will be here Monday for the show. Nick, if you're around, you're always welcome. I've got to take my car in the morning to get MOT'd, but so yeah. But massive thank you to David Shear, to Aaron, to Martin Knightsbridge, and to Leo for your super chats and super stickers. Massive thank you to the new subscribers for finally getting me to 1,400. That feels like it took the longest time. I was just teetering on 1398 for ages, so that's good. Thank you to Nick and Chang for coming on. And yeah, enjoy the game tonight if you're going to watch it. I'm not really bothered about friendlies. They get on my nerves.
I want to watch it.
So Jim will be watching it on his own tonight.
That's why he's taking you out, Kate, so he can watch the football later.
That's all right. Me and Amelia want to watch Beauty and the Beast, so we'll watch that with snacks, and you can watch the football. Have a great day, everyone. And yeah, as always, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you fucking Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.